Yes, church is a great place for your kid. Not because it's a place, but because it should be a living thing. And yes, we should be crying out to God. But I want us to, in the weeds of the practical, in the details to the feelings and the landmines of parenting post-divorce. So let's just get this out of the way. Church can be a great place for your child, and prayer 100%. And I'm going to address that later in this episode. But let's dive into what we as responsible parents can do about helping our children deal with their new realities and assist their abilities to adjust and to function. So to help with your kids, start with yourself. The first safety instruction for an airplane emergency is to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on your child. When it comes to helping your kids through a divorce, the take-home message is take care of yourself so that you can be there for your kids. Some of you are in tough places of navigating impossible situations and being there for all your child's needs and events. You are healing yourself while you're also trying to heal your family. Sometimes we feel broken while we go through the motions of parenting. Crisis navigation trumps a lot. This is why some people disappear from church and life post-divorce. We are in survival mode. Sometimes all we can do is parent and keep our jobs. Anything else feels too much. But a healthier you gives better advice, does smarter things, and it has the energy and motivation to endure the road ahead. We must work on ourselves. Not before we work on our children, but while we work on our children. As I've mentioned, one of my coping exercise moments was buying a boat. But lately, I've been doing yoga and I have a meditation room. And I know as a Christian, that probably scares some of you. I'm not going off the deep end here, but it is a great place to breathe, pray, have a Sabbath, if you will, during the day to just get my thoughts together so that I'm a better person and a better dad. I've spent countless hours in therapy, and I've walked more miles with God, listening to podcasts and reading books, investing in myself. Okay, just because you're older doesn't mean you're wiser. Frankly, some of you are in a bad spot and you need therapy badly. Communication with your children is key during this turbulent time. I want to keep the lens of this conversation on post-divorce. It doesn't matter if it's 2 months or 2 years post-divorce. Rule 1, do not play the blame game. Protect your ex-spouse's relationship if possible. Don't throw your ex under a bus. But before we get into the weeds of this, we must put this lens on. Parents are often guilty of two things: wanting to gain favor with their children or give reasoning, justifying their divorce decision. Divorce guilt is a thing, and wanting to have our kids on our side is a thing. Putting our kids in front of our wishes and our needs and our desires is sacrificial parenting, and it isn't easy stuff. Our responsibility to raise healthy, God-fearing adults does not get trumped when we go through the tragedy of divorce. Our crisis is forefront, and the children can pay the price. It is tough, a very tough road to manage our situations, feelings, and crises, all the while navigating our kids' issues and responses. Now, let me insert something right here. You know why my kids are in a good space? It wasn't me. It wasn't my great words, and it wasn't my actions. It literally was the power of prayer. And that is not lip service. I mean it 100%. I had a team of people praying for my family during my hot mess. Not just praying that the marriage would survive, but for my family and my children. I 100% believe in the power of prayer. And I also prayed for a few things that were important. One was strength for me, and the other was for voices to speak into my children when I did not have the energy or the right things to say. And I think those were pretty wise things to pray for, and I want to encourage you to do the same.